Hello, greetings students. Welcome back to Python, where today we're diving straight into a 13-minute lesson on mastering Python printing. No fluff, no fuss. So, how do we print? The core of printing. Let's start with the absolute basics. The print function is your tool for making Python speak. Clear your minds with delving right into practical application. So formatting matters. We'll swiftly cover the ins and out of structuring your prints for maximum impact. Plus, escape characters essential. Tools for concise messaging. Keep up, we're moving fast. So we print. So this is what it normally looks like. And do not confuse these with a printer. So if you do have a printer, don't think that if I write Python, a sheet is gonna come out and start printing the word Python. This has nothing to do with printers. It does in a way. So if we run this, you can see we're gonna go Python because that's exactly what I've told us to do. So if you keep thinking about printers, you could do it like a printer. You could remember it as a printer. So you tell the computer to print something, and then you can imagine this is a paper, and it's written everything you've done, and it's printed everything you've told it to done. So that's how computers work. We can do Python, so we can print anything. We can print this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do everything. We can do that too. And we can do this. If I take these out, if you think about doing that, well, it's automatically gonna do 1.0, which is pretty cool. So you know. So now let's go to data types. Data types. First we have integer, so we're gonna cover each by each. So integers, this is what you call an integer. This is how it would look like if you would print an integer. So this is what you call an integer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an integer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Integer. You can print it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still, the numbers are still gonna be integer. You can print 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, still an integer. So now you have like an idea of what integers are. So now integers. So now when you say integers, you'll probably think So now this should be an integer. Now this is not an integer. You can round it to the nearest integer. 5.7. It's another data type that we're gonna cover today. So integers are whole numbers. They are whole numbers which do not have decimals. Integers are not decimals. That's another data type. So now we know we can do print plus 4. We're gonna get 5. Output is gonna be 5. Integer. So the output is gonna be an integer. If I did this, that would be a string, which is gonna be next. But if we come like that, it's gonna turn back to an integer. So with integers, you can do print 1 plus 1, print 1 minus 1. We can print 1 times 1. And speaking of times, this is how we write times in Python. So you probably all know, you probably all use this in real life. So now this is a letter, because in computers this is not how you write times. How I wrote this is because I just wrote X. So how you do this, it's this. It's this star with 5 lines sticking up. And now this should be unfamiliar, but this is 1 out of 1. This is 1 divided by 1. So if you know fractions, you know that how normally the fraction symbol looks like. There's a straight line, and that's what's supposed to happen. That's supposed to be a line, and then a dot, and a dot. So that's how it looks like. Now because it's hard to write all of this and put it together, because you can't write this symbol on the keyboard. So if you know fractions, it's like this, right? 8 something out of 8. That means 8 out of 8, which is 1. And why is it 1? Because 8 and 8. This symbol basically means divide. 8 divided by 8 is 1. So that's why we call it 1. So this symbol means divide. Now we can also write fractions. You've probably seen these fractions, right? 8 out of 8. So sometimes when there's no space, or this is just how you normally write them, this is how you write them. So it's the same this. If you want to know what this equals to, The same thing, all you have to do is 8 divided by 8, which you'll find is 1. So the same thing here. So we use this as a divide symbol, which can also be used as fraction. So you can say this is a fraction, and you can say this is like an equation, even though the same. So you can use integers just like this. We have strings. You can't really do much, but the best part about strings is that I can write anything and there will not be a single error because they're just strings. That's how they work. Because that's just how strings work. Strings, they can be like this. 1, 2. You can. So these are what you can call strings. You can do this. This would be called as a string, not an integer. This Python, I know it's. Let me just fix this because Python, any letters, they're all strings. These are all strings. So how do you print strings? Same thing, but you don't do this. We have to put this. If you don't put quotation marks, you can see we got an ever. Name youth does is not defined. Now we can use it as a variable and say if becomes 1. If you printed this, it would get 1, no error, because youth does has now a value of 1 because I've told them that. But that's a variable, and that'll be on for another time. So this now I'm just going to hash this out because every time I'm going to print something, there's going to be an error. Now you're probably thinking, what if we can do? What if we do this? If you we can print string you probably think D plus D. So now we can use it now. You can guess, not try to guess which one will be an error. This will be safe. There'll be no errors in this one. There'll be an error in this one. This one really depends, and this will be an error. If I run this, you can see line 25. Yes, this is an error. Hash this out. Line 26. Yes, it sometimes does work, but you'll have to say it in a different way. So this is an error too. And last but not least, July 27. This one's a narrative. And D plus D. So only works with this, but we don't have time for the next one that we were gonna do, which was float. This is an example float, but that's not for today because today we don't have time. So guys, I'll see you in the next video.